Lieutenant General Tadamichi Kuribayashi accepted a task that no one else wanted. He knew going home was not an option. He knew the 21,000 troops under his command were not going home. His assignment was to defend Iwo Jima until no one was standing. Iwo Jima troops dug more than 11 miles of tunnels and lasted 36 days with no food, water, or reinforcements. This is his cave. His signpost was put in after the cave was cleared, sometime in the 50s. Today we will be following the red line. So now we're walking towards the entrance. You can see the rope there. The rope's always put through these caves so you can't get lost, but the entrance is about 1.5 meters tall, and then it goes down about a 45-degree angle. Now I'm out here with a headlamp, another handheld light, and then my camera. So throughout the video, you're going to have to excuse all the hard angles and the shaking and all of that. So this first room is just like an entrance room into concreted squared off area. In this room, you can go two directions. You can either go straight or turn left. Since I am with somebody else and I'm kind of doing a tour, I just explained that this way goes straight into the main cavern. And then this other way that we're going to go shortly is the way that goes through Kuribayashi Shrine and then the third entrance. So you have to understand that I'm on my knees almost the whole time, going a little forward at a time. So it's extremely difficult a lot of times to hold the camera still for you all, but I'm going to do my best. You can see there's a little shrine right here for him. This was one of his little office rooms that he had. Now again, I'm hunched over, and Chris Bodine, who was kind enough to go down there with me, he's actually like 6'2", 6'3", so he was having an even harder time than I was. So you see like water and stuff like that right there. Well, at the time of the war, they didn't have any water. So you're going to see shrines and stuff like that with plastic bottles of water or bottles of alcohol, cans of beer, whatever. Those are just left as offerings. All right, so this room here, this is a third room in that little connected area, which once we get out of this room, then we're going to be going into the main cavern, and this is where he did most of his workout, was in here. So you're going to have to excuse the audio because it seems like every time I go into this tunnel, something goes wrong. Audio goes out, camera gets blurry, my batteries died, and this time the whole way through audio was dead. And when I found it out, I was on the other side and I'm like, yeah, I'm not going through again. So basically what you see is what I see. There's, I don't have a lot of light out there. So this cave, I'd say probably the height of it is probably about 4, maybe 5 meters high. You can see a lot of rocks have been falling down. In the past 75 years, you're going to get a lot of wear and tear with a lot of people coming through here. So there's another passageway that we can't go down because it's blocked off, and that one goes to the Japanese Navy headquarters that was there. So that sign right there says dangerous, and if you look up there, they got some rebar and stuff up in there, so little dangerous to go back in there. Circling around, there is some equipment still left in there, old, beat up, rusted up equipment that's no longer used. You can see lights too. There used to be a generator that was up on the entrance, but they moved that over to the medical cave. All right, so this next little passageway here, it runs down towards the next longer side tunnel. You can see there's lots of little tunnels that offshoot, but usually they just dead end. So this little section right here is interesting because it goes up very steep stairs, but they don't go up very far. So the stairs go up into where Kuribayashi used to sleep. So I couldn't get up there, but Chris went up there for me. So thank you for that, Chris. So getting up to the top, we were hoping that, you could get back there a little bit further. However, they blocked it off with a lot of stuff that we can't get past there. So unfortunately, I can't show you what's back there. So I want to explain something about the air in here. So there's pockets of heat, and the air is very humid and it's stale and it's dusty. Like as soon as you step on the ground, you pick up dust. So being in here, you just it's an amazing feeling. But again, you start to feel that claustrophobic feeling come on. You know, your breathing gets a little tight. It's warm in some spots, and then it gets a little chilly in other spots, and you kind of feel like you want to get out of there. All right, so this tunnel here is the one that actually shoots off over into the Japanese naval headquarters. And if you look way down on the bottom, it's caved in on the bottom, so we're not going to get through there. But that blue line on the ground and the rope that's leading us out to the other side. Um, so like in this area right here, I'm standing up. Well, actually, I'm not really standing. I'm more bent over, but as you can see, I'm getting down lower here because now I got to go on my hands and knees to get through into this next section. So this next section is a medical officer's cave. Um, it's a pretty big section. This is where the medical officer was at the time. However, now it's just there's rocks falling everywhere, and you got to be extremely careful going through the cave. In fact, there's more rocks that fell from the last time that I was here. So I was a little surprised about that, and it was actually really tight to get through the other side of this one. Right up there, yeah, it was a little difficult to get through that side over there. But again, the air in here starts to like get just really heavy. It feels heavy. It's amazing to me still that people lived in these and they worked in these and they ran in between the Motoyama up to Suribachi around to the north side of the island. It's just amazing to me that's what they did to defend. They popped out everywhere. Um, they were doing a little bit of guerrilla warfare because they knew that was about the only way that they could hold off the Americans as long as they did. So yeah, these rocks and stuff weren't there the last time. So now we've scooted down into the exit tunnel that I like to call, but it's still a long ways up and to the exit. Caves are really well dug out. Um, I I think I'm almost standing here, and there's a few items that are sitting on those sides. Um, as you can see, like radio parts and pieces of little machineries and just stuff left over here. And up here is there's no radio. Yeah, sorry that it's so quick right now because at this point, well, one, it's hot in there, and two, like I said, you start to feel that feeling of dread and you want to get out. So by this time, even though I've been through here enough times and I know how it kind of goes, I'm kind of getting in a hurry to get out. It's not that I was scared. It was just it was that sense of dread, like, oh man, is this thing ever gonna end? But again, it's an amazing experience to go through these tunnels. You know, of course, then there was more light and they were cleaned out and not a lot of stuff was falling down and it was easier to get through. But still, you know, I'm not saying I'm a tall guy. You know, I'm like average size, but for me, it was difficult to get through a lot of these places in the cave. Yeah, like right now, I'm on my hands and knees walking up through, trying trying to run the camera, trying to move my light, and then as soon as you turn that right there, you feel a flush of cool air, a sense of relief to get out of the cave. I want to thank you all for watching this video and watching all the other Japan Treasure Hunter videos that are out there. It is well appreciated. And thanks for subscribing.